people, Marco here, and today we're going to be doing a little toy that I received yesterday, some vape mail care of the Patricios. They sent over a DJKhenny variable voltage TI chip enabled box mod. So I'm going to talk about it in a bit. It's just to set your expectations, TI enabled box mods are pretty much the same. I mean, they use the same chip, roughly work the same way, but I'm going to talk about this in further detail, everything, aesthetics, performance, durability, all that shit. And we're going to be talking about it in a bit. I'm going to give it a bit of a pull, and then we can get down to it, okay? All right, there. So this is, it's made of solid ironwood. The Philippine term for it would be kamagong, and the family that makes these box mods actually has a woodworking business. So this is just something they do as you know, for kicks, and they're pretty solid. I have a video out for the mechanical box mods that they have. They decided to release one with regulation, and as you can see, it has. If you take a look at the side of it. The reader is almost invisible. It's almost invisible. See, unless I fire it, you're not even going to see it's there. It blends right into the you know, the whole texture of the wood. It has a bit of a polished finish versus other ironwood boxes out there. It's a very flat, even finish, smooth to the touch, and it's very aesthetically pleasing. I mean, you know, I could run like a piece of metal across it, and it just feels buttery smooth. The engraving is right there, so it's DJK wood mods for the Philippine market. So they are identified by the engraving. So these box mods are also available internationally, but with different engravings. You can PM them directly for questions regarding that. So I have it on a pulse stripper right now. Okay, I'm going to take it off and show you. It has a 22mm brass juice well. Can you get a shot of it up close there? Yeah. And a self-adjusting copper contact right there. Over there. So the voltage adjustment is run by a knob right here. The only, well, if you notice, it also has that ironwood finish. So it's the same texture as the rest of the mod. It, however, does not have an indicator. So others have like a little white dot there, but I'm happier with it not having that because it looks more, you know, it blends the whole concept of a classic or a furniture-like look with the performance of a personal vaporizer. See, without the dot, it looks more, you know, it looks more traditional, so to speak. Right? It fires using a brass vandal switch, and the TI chip can go up to 16 amps. It can push up to 16 amps, and unlike other TI chip enabled box mods, it is VTC friendly. So we got a couple of VTCs slapped in here. The height of it is well, it's pretty big. You have it standing like that versus, say, an 18350 battery. That's what it looks like. So it's a pretty big mod. It's pretty heavy on the pocket, but in terms of price, we're going to talk about that later. It's a lot more budget friendly, if you will. The fact that I like about the self-adjusting pin is that I can flush any atomizer down on it. Screwing it on, you know, there's the resistance in terms of, you know, how far back you can push it. It's going to tell you when it's too tight. I mean, you're going to know you've twisted it way too much. There you go. So another thing I like is that the display, if you take a look at it, when you stop firing it, it just doesn't disappear. It sort of fades out. So you can barely see it's there. So it has that nice unibody look, although it is it's a cutaway box. So the chip is housed in here, and it's held down by magnets. There's a bit of rattle when you use but flat top batteries. I haven't tried it with button tops because I don't want to use button tops, but overall fits nicely in your hand. And you know, I've already said this before, I cannot stand wooden box mods that have the hand groove. No offense to any of the box modders out there who create mods with hand grooves, but I'm not a fan of it. What I like about it is that it's perfectly ergonomical. I mean, I can hold it without any problems, and due to the side firing feature versus it being a top side firing box mod, is that I can orient it any which way I need to. So let's say my atomizer is on a single coil, single air hole setup, and the hole is facing this way when I flush it down. I can hold it this way and it doesn't look weird. See, I can hold it this way or that way. Fire with my thumb and it doesn't look weird. It doesn't feel weird either because it has a pretty even cut. I mean, if you look at it, it has that nice, like, sexy groove there. See, you know, it's like a woman's body. Beautiful. It's a work of art. So that's how I compare it, because I can orient it any which way and it doesn't look weird. One thing I do not like is looking like I'm sucking my goddamn thumb when I'm vaping. I mean, it looks weird when I do, but with this, you know, it looks classy as it is. You whip it out, you know, it's sweet. It's pretty sleek. The cut is just way out there, and I like the nerd engraving. It's a lot more prominent on the ironwood finish versus the mechanical Mojave ones. It's a lot more prominent. See the detail on it? Very finely engraved. And just a bit of trivia. I was talking to Kenny the other day, and these are all handmade. He does not purchase machines. The reason for it is because Kenny is one of those guys who's a stand-up guy. I mean, he doesn't want to lay off his employees because he got a machine. He wants to be able to give jobs to these people. So I got to hand it to him for that. Quality work, you're helping other people out, and you know, you turn out good products. I mean, that's the way they operate. So I really can't say much about that. That's a very rare breed of people nowadays. So how does it perform? Battery efficiency, that depends on what you run it on. Currently I have a dual coil setup. It's at about 0.5 ohm based on the number of wraps I did. And I have it usually firing at about 3.3 to 3.4 volts. But just to show you how it performs, we're going to be using, since I'm going to be vaping it all the way down to my lungs, Overdoses Tanya in 6 milligrams. Still a bit heavy on the lungs. I wouldn't advise it. If you're cloud chasing, you might want to go a bit lower, but this is some pretty fun stuff. So I'm just going to prime this up a bit because I don't want to end up drinking my juice. Alright, there you go. So let's give it a bit of a shot at 3.6 volts. Alright. Ooh, dripping. There you go. So even with short pulls on it, you're getting pretty decent vapor output. Actually, I wouldn't say decent. If you're in a cloud chasing, variable voltage is the way to go, and TI chip enabled ones are the ones that can really push the envelope. I haven't tried building below probably 0.4 ohm at most because I'm not a fan of that. It's too hot. And as you can see, I use a hybrid Delrin and stainless steel tip. So it gets a bit hot around the lips. I'm not a big fan of that. But in terms of longevity, in terms of aesthetic appearance, in terms of overall performance, it's this is definitely a keeper mod for me. I mean, I could take this to cloud chasing events and shit like that and have loads of fun with it because it just pushes it all the way. I'm going to show you what it looks like with a tank. So my tank is a Rusgar by High Wind Innovative Designs, and I have it built at a 1.1 ohm coil. So we are going to fire it at 3.4, 3.5 roughly. There you go. So with the tank, it's a lot bigger. Still sits flush, 22 mm. No problems. In terms of performance, it doesn't overcook the juice, and the voltage readout is fairly accurate because when I measure it against a DNA, I get comparable performance. So I vape it at 15 watts roughly. So that pitches it at about 4, maybe 4 volts, and I get comparable performance. So it means the regulation is properly done. These people know their wiring, these people know their safety features and all that. So even with a TI chip, you're not running the risk of something blowing up or shorting out or anything like that. So I just prefer using a dripper on it because, let's face it, TI chip mods are for cloud chasing. And, you know, I've graduated from the cloud chasing phase, but it's fun every now and then. People want to see that, so, you know, we can pander to the crowd every now and then, have a bit of fun with it. So, basically, that is it. In terms of pricing, I'm just going to put the details of DJKhenny's page, both the local and international page, on the video description. And you guys can check it out there. Send him a PM. This guy replies regardless of whatever time it is. So in terms of after sales, you aren't going to have any problems. I believe they released this in a limited run, but it is available through orders as well. So I'm going to have to get down to the nitty-gritty of it in the description, so we don't take up too much bandwidth uploading this video. So that's it for the DJKhenny variable voltage TI chip enabled box mod. I hope you guys had fun, because I sure as fuck did. So I'm going to see you guys soon. Play hard, fellas. Cheers.